Welcome to another edition of the Soul 21 Street Radio Show, broadcasting live from Soul 21, the retail store located in Northwest Mall, Houston, Texas. I'm your host, as usual, T.G. Ryans, and I'm joined live in studio right here and right now by my other two super dynamic co-hosts, Malik Jackson and Arthur Jenkins.
Malik Jackson, CEO of Malik Fragrances.
Arthur Jenkins, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, we ready to get started, right? Y'all ready?
Right.
Y'all ready?
Let's get it.
We got a serious topic tonight, ladies and gentlemen, from Houston and all around the globe. I know a lot of you said you've been backstabbed before, right? You've been just betrayed by certain people. You say you knew this person for a long time. You said that you grew up with them and you did something like loan them some money, or maybe you helped them out, or maybe you shared a secret with them and they told that secret, or they kept that money, or they didn't help you out. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. They didn't fulfill their end of the agreement, or they just betrayed you and told some things that you did not want to get leaked out. Maybe you were having marital problems. Maybe you were having basic relationship problems. Maybe that this person came to you and said, you know what? You can confide in me. You can believe in me, and you can tell me anything, your deepest and darkest fears and nightmares. Some of these people you probably even told some of your hopes and dreams and greatest wishes to, and they backstabbed you. And that leads me to our topic of discussion tonight, and that topic of discussion is backstabbers. That's right, that's what we're going to talk about this whole night on the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We're going to talk about backstabbers. So if you've been betrayed, get ready, because here we go. I'm going to start right here with you, Malik Jackson. Please let these people around the world know, what is a backstabber?
A backstabber. I look at that person as being a person that's really just cutting you up behind your back. I mean, you're telling them things, y'all talking, and every idea you come up with, it's somebody who wants to cut you down instead of bring you up. So a backstabber is a person who really you have to kind of cut from a loose, because these are the people who really just, they try to take your intentions. They really just try to throw you under the barrel. So, and these people come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. Yes. And a lot of them come from family. That's what they start from. A lot of people ask me, why do I always, some of the show, start with family, but I'm just saying that's the first, because you come with ideas with family. And when you come with, and you got a lot of backstabbers, and these people are tormented to hurt you, because it seems like they're good for you, but they're not. It's somebody who's to tear you down and to tell other people about you when you tell them something and they're saying, oh, you're not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He's not going to make it. So these people are a person that will cut you up and smile in your face.
Well said. Arthur Jenkins, same question. What is a backstabber?
Wow, a backstabber in my mind, what I think of a person with little morals or value. Mm-hmm. A person who actively would smile in your face while trying to tear you down. A person that's trying to actually keep you down so they can feel better about their messed up situation, or a person who's trying to take your place and get the glory and kind of be you. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I think of when I think of backstabber.
Yeah. Good answer. Backstabbers are everywhere. They're in your family. They're friends, so-called friends, used to be friends. But I know a lot of you're probably sitting there saying, you know what, I can relate to having a backstabber in my life, because these backstabbers, man, let me tell you, you can sit there and you can tell these people certain things about yourself. You can share secrets with them that you didn't share with anyone else in the world. And next thing you know, the whole street, the whole neighborhood, forget it, the whole city, depending on who you are, might know all your business because of these backstabbing people. They just take a knife, put it in the back, stab you over and over and over. And then one of the things that really upsets me is that they get right back in your face and they shake hands and laugh and talk to you again. And then they ask you and probe you for more information. You got anything else you want to talk to me about? Is there anything else you want to share with me? Because you know what? I am here for you. I'm here for you. No matter what, Come hell, come high water, I'm here for you. And then you share more and more and more. And you ask yourself, how you knowing this? The pastor knows. People at the church knows. Folks that you went to high school with, they know these things. How are they finding out these things? And I'm telling you all how they're finding out. They're finding out through these backstabbing people. Finding out through these backstabbers. Malik Jackson, what else do you think that these backstabbers have? What kind of attributes do they have? What kind of characteristics do they have that these people can look for so that they know for sure that they're dealing with a backstabber before they leak out any more secrets and any more dreams and any more information? How can they know they're dealing with these backstabbing people?
The first thing of dealing with a backstabber is tell them you're going to do something. Tell them that you got a business going, or you opened up something, or you're trying to do something, and just leave it as that. And let about a good week or two go by, and if somebody else come to you with that same story that you done said something, what you done said,
right?
You know who it came from. So this is how you understand your backstabbers. All you have to do is just let them play themselves. See, what we do as a people sometimes, we intend to spoon feed these people with more. Sometimes you got to cut it loose. Yes. Because you stab a person in the back. How many times I'm going to let you stab me in the back?
Yes.
And still try to be your friend, and still try to be your associate or business partner, whatever. This is what we got to learn. Let a backstabber go. But you can tell a backstabber, because when you tell them that you're trying to do something, you're trying to accomplish something, you'll find out who backstabbed you when it comes back to you and who told you so and so.
Arthur Jenkins, what else do these crazy backstabbing people, man, what else do they show you that we tend to overlook that indicate that these people are backstabbers, man?
I tend to think of backstabbers as being attention junkies. People who got to be in the mix. It kind of reminds me of that old Too Short video. Remember that Too Short I Ain't Tripping with Mark Curry? In the beginning, he had the whole crowd of people, and he was sitting there talking about how Short was on the crack and he was smoking and going to jail. They got to have attention. They got to be the center of attention. They got to be better than the next person or whatever, man. So what they do is they put these sometimes non-truths out there about you to make themselves look good, or just to be recognized as somebody, and a lot of times, unfortunately, when that heat come back to them, it's too hot for them to handle. Then they fold under the pressure, which is the sad part about it. If you're going to say it, at least stand up and say, I said it, and take what come with it. But these are people really, I think, with nothing better to do but to try to tear down in order that they can stand and look good.
Oh, yeah.
Good answer. Stand to look good. That's what these backstabbers want to do. Make you look bad so they can look good. You're listening to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We'll be right back. Ready?
I'll be there.
Welcome back to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We are back. We're discussing backstabbers tonight on the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. Here we go again. We're going to talk about these people, man, and their motives and their intentions. And I really think, first and foremost, that these people are addicted to backstabbing. Man, they've been backstabbing so much till they're just addicted to it. They just look for somebody to backstab, man. They just look for someone to backstab. It might have started as something real small, something real low key, and now it's just turned into a hobby for these people. It's literally a hobby, man. What you think, Malik? What do you think?
Now, the intentions and motives of a backstabber to me is someone to cut you up, someone to demolish you, someone to try to stop you from doing what you accomplished and set here to do. And what these backstabbers will do, they are here to do that. See, people got to understand, people are here to do certain things. And what a backstabber is here to do is to cut you up, demolish you, and they're also to try to, smear your name as being a bad name, especially if you're a business person or any type of person with any type of great character about themselves. So this is what you have to understand. The intentions of these people is to demolish your character and demolish yourself.
So basically, they want to ruin reputations, right?
All the time. Yeah. The reason why they want to ruin your reputation because they have no reputation, and then you have a good reputation, and you're headed somewhere. See, they're not going to just cut up anybody. A backstabber is not going to cut somebody up who's not doing anything. They want somebody who's doing something so they can get some feedback on that. Okay, for instance, just take a person that you're talking with somebody who's famous, somebody who's doing something for themselves, who's heading in the direction of success. This is what a backstabber does. He have to talk, or she have to talk about that person, because you're not going to talk about a person in the gutter. You know, you ain't going to listen to them. So you got to have some type of stylist. So this is what they do. I can hurt the reputation. I can demolish your character, which is reputation and all in one. But I can demolish you and your business or your personality in one, because I just want to do that. That's my intention, and that's what a backstab intention is, to hurt you all in one, to demolish your character, to demolish you, to cut you up, to just really just say and have everybody against you.
Yeah, it's kind of a game to these people, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
I mean, you share valuable information with these people, and they know right off top, right offhand, that they're going to backstab you for the sport of it. You understand, ladies and gentlemen? They do this for the sport of it. Let me go to Arthur Jenkins real quick. Arthur, what do you think?
About intentions and motives. Maybe the intentions is just self-gain, and they self-gain is tied to their self-worth. Who are they? What are they? How you view them and things of this nature. And sometimes I don't think these people know what motivates them, man. I mean, they just like turmoil and controversy and stuff. You know what I mean? And this is what guides them and motivates them, just to have turmoil and drama around them, you know? But then you get those people, I just want specifically, you know, what we had talked about before, those people who see you making it, or they perceive that you're making it, they're not making it, so now you owe them something. Right. You know what I mean? And all this, or you think you better than me and all that old kind of crap. So now that you ain't doing what they want you to do, how you want to, now they want to defame you and bring you down. You know what I'm saying? Destroy what you've built, destroy your name. They know the quickest way anybody know the quick way to assassinate somebody is to kill their name. Assassinate their character, and this is what people attack. So this is what I think of when I think of what motivates them. I can't really say in all cases, maybe it varies, but I know these people have some things in common. They do like controversy, they like drama and turmoil. So that's what I think.
Yeah, they like the turmoil. They enjoy the controversy and turmoil. A lot of them sit around and they probe you and probe you and probe you again for more and more personal information. And their intent and their motive is to do nothing else other than to ruin your name, ruin your reputation, just ruin you amongst your peers, ruin you amongst family members, or if they're family members, ruin you amongst other family members. They want to destroy your reputation for some odd reason. And a lot of times they intertwine doing that with just sport, with just fun and games. Backstabbers, fun and games, that's what it is to them.
Because their intention and motives is that what we do, we feed into them. Because you know what, when they come and get more information, we study, give them information. Stop it. Stop it. You have to stop it, because you already know what they're doing. And this is what we always say. Well, you know what? Oh, man, I just let it go. They're good friends. No, they're backstabbers. They've been cutting you up. They've been demolishing you. They've been letting you know that to other people that you are nobody to them. And you know what? They get mad at your styles. But you know what? Sometimes it's good to keep backstabbers around, because you get blessed like that. You know what I'm saying? You just started to let them know your blessings, instead of letting them know how God just started blessing you, so they can get the same blessings you can get. But they're too busy trying to hurt you and backstab you, because first of all, that's their intention.
Full intention is to just to hurt you, hurt your name, hurt your reputation, right. Just take you out, you know, just mix you up amongst everyone, take your name, trash your name, and then they just sit around, they come around again, and they tell you to confide in them more and more and more, and they get more and more information from you, and they just backstab you all day long, all night long. They spread out rumors, they add to it, or they leave out things. These people are crazy. Arthur Jenkins.
I just for say, I'm with you. They just don't know. And if you know better, you do better. If you know that these are people that are trying to harm you, then you might not want to get them the tools to harm you with. But my advice to you is to recognize who these people are and treat them as such. It's okay to love them. It's okay to like them. You don't necessarily have to like how they maneuver. You don't have to love the things that they do. And you have to separate, yourself from that, or separate what is and how you deal with them. For your own protection, let me just put it that way, and for your own good. That's one fight you don't have to fight, because you can move yourself out of that situation.
But you know, like I said, that's their attention. And when people are put in here with certain attentions, this is what they'll do. This is what they do. This is how they act. This is their reaction and their reaction, how they act a certain when they backstabbing you. Because first of all, they hurt you because you trust them. You've been giving them information. You've been giving them things about yourself personally. You've been telling them about how you try to grow a business, how you try to grow in life, and how you try to grow a marriage, or how you try. And these people just demolish you. And like, you know, Mr. Jenkins was saying, you know, you can love them, but you don't have to put up with them. I just like to separate myself from them because, you know, the thing about it is, you can love somebody, but I don't have to deal with you because you've been cutting me up behind my back.
Also, I just want to say this. Understanding, too, what a person would do. A backstabber will be that person who you would feed some information to about an idea, a thought, or something, and they will sit there and suck up all the information and go do it behind your back. Yeah. And leave you stuck. Will take your idea and go put something behind it to make your idea come to work and act like they don't owe you a thing. Yeah. And act like you ain't told them nothing. And so you better watch who you share your thoughts with.
Real talk.
That's good. And you know, a lot of you have had job interviews with some of these backstabbers, right? You go, you have the job interview, and you feel like, wow, everything went well. They even told you that they liked you. They liked all your credentials. They like you as a person, and they can already see what an asset you're going to be to their company. But then, after you leave, you shake hands, and it's all smiles and hugs and whatever. You go home, and you wait for the appointed time that they said they were going to call you, and you get no contact. Once you call there again and you say, hey, it's me, whatever your name is. You know, I came, I did the interview. You told me that you would call me back, and I was just wondering what's going on. And now you can't get in touch with these people. It seems as though they have vanished off the face of the planet. And, you know, their whereabouts are to be found, to be discovered. You don't know where they are. The reason is because you have been totally backstabbed. You've been played. You've been played. You've been backstabbed over and over and over again. They knew they weren't going to hire you. They knew that they didn't want you there in that position. They just totally wasted your time, and they pulled on your strings. They pulled your strings in a certain way to make you feel that everything was A-OK, and they left you hanging because that's what backstabbers do. But let me tell you what they did do. They probably took the eye-opening experience that you gave them, and they looked for someone else on purpose that they're going to try to torment even further. So be thankful that you don't have to work for these backstabbers.
I want to share this. When you said work, it takes me to a memory that I had from a job a few years back. You want to talk about a backstabbing individual? This was my boss who came to me and asked for a favor. Asked me to work on Thanksgiving. I'm like, man, I got a family. I worked the last Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I tell you what, let me see what I can do. You know, let me talk with my family, see what we're going to do. So before I called him back and let him know anything, he done penciled me in to work. Okay, so I got upset and everything. I come and I tell him about that. He say, well, I'll make a deal with you. No, it was Christmas, I'm sorry. He said, I'll make a deal with you. You work this Christmas for me and I'll let you off New Year's. I say, fine. So schedule come out, New Year's, I'm working. I go, like what's happening with this here? So we talk about it. He say he forgot, he changed it. But then he go tells the big boss that I was upset because I wasn't off on New Year's, which was true. But he neglected to tell the boss that he made a deal with me for working Christmas that I would be off New Year's. So I'm just looking like the angry dude who mad about nothing because I didn't get my way. Right. But you forgot to include that you made a deal with me to do this. That's backstabbing. And these same people who will sit there in your face while actually trying to tear you down. And you better watch them, man, because they're good at it and they're persistent at it. And if you, this is the type of stuff that happens when you're on a job, when the boss come in and try to separate you and your other coworker by putting the bug in one end, putting the bug in the other one there to get y'all to go at each other so they can be the puppet master and you can be Pinocchio, you Pinocchio and they Geppetto, you on the string and they control everything. These are the type of people that we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We'll be right back discussing these backstabbers. To book me, TG Ryans, for any speaking engagements, hit me up on my email, soul21retail@gmail.com. That's soul21retail@gmail.com. Welcome back to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. T.G. Ryans, Malik Jackson, Arthur Jenkins, live from Soul 21, the retail store, and we're discussing backstabbers tonight. Now, we told you the motives. We let you know the intentions and motives during the last segment as to why backstabbers like being backstabbers, why they enjoy backstabbing and betraying people so much. Okay, but now we're gonna give you the reasons why you were chosen to be backstabbed. Why were you chosen to be, targeted, to be betrayed for whatever reason? I know a lot of you are probably sitting around and you're wondering, why me? Why did that person betray me over and over again? Why did they do that? They didn't even have to do that. I'm gonna tell you why. One of the main reasons that you were possibly betrayed was because you're too wide open. You cannot tell everyone everything. Some things you have to work out on your own. Some things you have to, basically, if you're a religious person or something like that, you might have to go to God for it, or just find some really good, wisely counsel. However you're going to find it, you can't just give everyone that you know that opportunity to hear you out for different things that's going on in your life, at your job. Some of you have coworkers or something like that, and you've given these people rides, and they're the ones that backstabbed you. You picked them up, you've taken them to work so they could earn money, and they wouldn't even be working right now if you didn't pick them up. And they backstabbed you. They went behind your back and they told your bosses and your district managers all kinds of things about you. And that's just one small example of how some of you have been betrayed. But nonetheless, the reasons why you've been betrayed is because sometimes you're too wide open. Sometimes you're just a little too soft, and they just want to just break you in half. They just want to break you in half. It's a challenge. Now, a lot of people are jealous of you. Some people are extremely jealous of you, and nothing more, nothing less. Jealous and envious of you, what you have. They're jealous of your spouse. They're jealous of your house. They're jealous of what you're driving. They're jealous of where you're working. They're jealous of a whole lot of things that if you switch places for them one particular day, and you say, you know what? I tell you what, you get in my shoes for a change. You get in my shoes for the day, and all these things that you're envious, that you're jealous of, that you're hating on, you try to do it, and they can't even do it. They can't even do it. They can't even handle the house you're living in. They can't handle the car that you're driving. They can't handle the spouse that you're married to. Malik Jackson, please add something else to that.
Man, you done said a handful right there, Mr. Ryan. The reason I would say that the target for betrayal by backstab is that you're doing something. And when you're doing something and you're headed somewhere, you're going to have that backstabbing person. Stop telling your dreams, not just your dreams, but your ideas, and stop telling your moves, to certain people, because you know that they're backstabbing you. You know they're going to tell people, oh, that person's not. So the reason is why you're getting backstabbed, because you're talking a little bit too much. Kind of close your mouth a little bit. Just like Mr. Ryan was saying, go to God for certain things. Find your wise counsel. But stop talking to certain people, letting them backstab you, letting them talk bad about you, killing your character, cutting you up, demolishing you. What you have to do is be quiet about certain things. Get you a wise counsel to talk to. And once that wise counsel, and you take their counsel and you take their suggestions and you move with, stop going outside the circle. That's why you're getting backstabbed, because you're going outside your circle, trying to make new friends. Leave new friends alone and continue with the people that you can trust. And that's one reason why you're getting backstabbed.
Arthur Jenkins. Go ahead, Arthur.
Wow. I can't really build too much more after what you two have said. So if y'all don't mind, let me throw a little salt in the game right quick and put bust some people's bubble real fast, if you don't mind. Some of y'all out there being backstabbed, and I'm going to say this, some of y'all done brought it on yourself. Now, I know y'all saying, what the hell he just say? I'm going to say it again. Some of y'all help bring this on yourself. Why, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you did ask. While you out there riding big and looking good and got your girl or got your man, ain't nothing wrong with that. You should have that. When you look down at other people and you treat them like they gumming at the bottom of your shoe and you better than everybody else and this, that, and the other, then you might turn some people against you, and they want to actively bring you down. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just simply saying it happens. So, sometimes we play a part in our own demise is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying for people to go out there and do anything to you to hurt you. I'm saying you can put yourself in a position to be hurt. So sometimes when we say be quiet, it ain't just stop telling everybody, stop bragging, and stop talking down to other people. And you might not find yourself being backstabbed by some of these people who might have been loyal to you in the beginning. And if you do have people that's loyal to you, treat them like they're loyal to you. They're not just servants. They're loyal friends or loyal family. And some of these things might happen to you also. I just want to bring that perspective to the table and say that.
Backstabbers, and like I said, the real reason, and one of the reasons, stop going outside your circle. Your circle is the most important wise counsel that you have. Once you go outside your circle, just like Mr. Jenkins was saying, and don't look down on nobody. Always try to pull people up, but you can't pull everybody up. Now get that right. You can't pull everybody up. Get the ones that that people that wants to be pulled up, people that wants to know, and people that really wants to understand how to get out of certain situations and without being backstabbed. But that goes to say, stay with your circle, stay with your counsel. And I don't think when you get out of your counsel, when you do get out your counsel, that's when things happen. But you stick with that, and they will give you the information that you need. They will give you the right formula for that problem. Because when we go and give a problem, and we get it from someone else and go try to get advice from someone else inside that circle, they're just giving them all the information you need for them to cut you up, demolish you, because that's what they really want to do anyway.
And don't take it personal because, don't take it too personal because it's gonna be hard not to take it personal at all. It's gonna be hard not to take it personal at all. So try not to just say, hey, I'm the only one. Let me put it that way, because these people do this. It's a sport to them. They do this to any and everyone. Yeah. They do this to their own siblings. They do this to their own parents. They do this to everyone. They do this to everybody. So do not feel like you're the only one that's being betrayed by these people. But you can get smarter. You can be more receptive to the red flags that they show you. Number one red flag, and probably the only red flag that you need to know right now, is that these people tend to gossip a lot. They gossip a whole lot. So be very careful when you're sitting there listening to all that, hey girl, you know what happened type stuff all day, every day. Be careful, because they'll do the same thing to you. That's the number one red flag, is that these people are superior gossipers. They gossip about everything, and that is the most major red flag that you need to watch out for, is how much they talk about other people. And if it's a man that's gossiping, shame on you.
Wow. And you know what? Wow. Be careful of people who always asking questions. What's going on? What's happening? What you been doing lately? You got to be careful of these questions like that, because soon you give this information. Now, it's okay to get that information, but give some information to that wise counsel and the people that you've been seeking, if they ain't seen you in a while. But people who ask that information and that that like to talk a lot, that like to, kind of demolish you, and that off because your spirit tells you a lot of that. That's when you have to always be quiet. Just tell them, hey man, look, everything going good. Everything is great. Every time they ask something, just nod. And right there will keep them out of your business.
Yeah, and to build on that, sometimes less is more. I will give you that. Yeah. But I just have to reiterate what Mr. Ryan just said. It's bad enough when you have a gossiping woman, but we some kind of expect that.
That's true.
But as a gossiping man, there's just something wrong with that picture, man. I'm sorry. If you are that, then that's bad business. You need to check yourself. Yeah. And I'll also agree with you, Mr. Jackson, that those people who come to you probing, it's just a difference with somebody that's genuinely interested in what's going on, and when they're trying to probe information out of you. And you have to be smart enough to realize the difference. You have to be smart enough to realize the difference, and this goes back to being active in your own, so that you don't help bring about your own demise. You have to be smart enough to know what's coming at you and what you're facing.
That's it. Stay away from betrayers. Stay away from backstabbers. And please, please, please stay away from gossipers, especially gossiping men. You're listening to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We'll be right back.
Hello, listeners. This is Arthur Jenkins, co-host of the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. Your opinions, your comments are very important to me, so feel free to hit me up on my Facebook page, Facebook Arthur Jenkins. Thank you for your support. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again.
We are back on the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. T.G. Ryans, Malik Jackson, Arthur Jenkins, discussing backstabbers. Now, I know a lot of you have probably been demolished mentally and emotionally by some of these betraying, backstabbing people that have been in your life. And you're wondering, they ruined my reputation, they ruined my marriage, they ruined my relationship, they lied on me, they added information that I didn't say. Basically, they put words into my mouth, or they left out information that I gave them, and they told halfway stories. But nonetheless, they wrecked my job, my relationship, a position I had, a power, or whatever it may be, because there's a lot of you listening to it. So whatever circumstance you may be going through, but you were betrayed, and you're wondering, how do you pick up the pieces and move on? How you pick up the pieces and move on? Number one, stop blaming yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. You trusted an individual. You were a good person. You believed in this person. You had no idea that they were gonna backstab you, that they were gonna betray you. Basically, now you can be smart enough to understand that you went through that experience, some of you, and now you can move forward with your life, and you can pick up the pieces, and you can be a little smarter now. Now you can hold back a little bit. I'm not saying just kind of build a wall around yourself forever and a day with everyone, but now you can analyze and watch out for red flags now before you just give someone else all of your information, before you share goals and ideas and even heartbreaks and bad times with these people. So number one, please stop blaming yourself over and over and over again. Stop pointing fingers at yourself, and that's one of the ways you can at least start to move on and pick up the pieces.
How to make a full recovery? Mentally, and move forward after being betrayed. When you get back up where you need to be, when you fall down, you can always get back up. Get back to that original circle of people that you've been dealing with. And when you get back to that original circle, your counsel, leave them other people alone. And when you leave them alone, stop jumping from click to click, trying to feel some remorse for yourself, and go back to the original circle so they can give you the information, because they go tell you, if you like it or not, they gonna be real with you. These other people just go backstab you and tell you, how dumb you is, how ignorant you is, how a fool you is. You've been a fool, you've been stupid. So that's what's gonna hurt you. But after you get recovered of all that, like I just said, get back to your original counsel. Go back to original people and leave these other people alone, and continue to carry on with your people that brung you up, that stuck by your side, and that been that critic a yes or no. So that's my understanding of recovering from moving on from being for people being backstabbed and you being backstabbed.
And a lot of these people, haven't spoken to family members in years, decades, spouses, man, friends they've grown up with, clergy and coworkers. They haven't spoken to these people in years because they've been so heartbroken, living in a shell now, because they've been backstabbed and betrayed by someone who was closest to them. I mean, you hear stories all the time about brothers who don't talk anymore, sisters who don't talk anymore, even mothers and fathers who don't talk to their kids anymore because somebody betrayed and backstabbed the other person. And I'm going to say it again. You have so much that you have to put back together and move forward. But number one is you have to stop blaming yourself for being betrayed by these people. You have to get off the self-blame. I'm going to go to Arthur Jenkins real quick on this one.
Okay. For me, proper planning and asking questions, asking for discernment, and who do I trust? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? What am I about and why? What happened and why? When did things start going wrong, and trying to pinpoint? When they say hindsight is 20/20, when did everything start going wrong? What did I miss? Or where did I go wrong? And how do I prevent this from happening again? So you have to plan. You have to educate yourself. You have to trust yourself. Listen to your gut instincts about people, about places, about things. Some of us always have, well, that ain't good, and I'm not going to mess with that. Sometimes you got to trust yourself enough to know when. And you can't be scared of losing out or losing people. Sometimes you just got to cut a man loose.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to cut them loose, move forward, and that's another key way to basically pick up the pieces, ladies and gentlemen, and move forward is just by washing your hands of it all and just cutting these people loose and just going your separate way, whether, you work things out or not. Sometimes you just shake it off, you go on with your life and you rebuild your life one step at a time, a whole lot smarter than you were at first.
And like Mr. Ryan was saying, worrying. But, my suggestion is, also too, when you recover from this, because it is it's kind of captivating, man, when you going through things like that. But after you recover from things like this, like I said, you go back to your original circle and your original circle of friends and people that kept you going and kept you moving and gave you being a critic and telling you, no, that's not good, and yes, that is good, and you stick with them people, and you stick with your circle and your wise counsel, and you move on from that, and you don't get up out of that. Because if you want to stop people from backstabbing you, you stay away from around these people that's always want to know your business.
Yeah. Pick up the pieces, move forward, stop blaming yourself, stop the self-blame. Those are many ways that you can begin the recovery process after being betrayed. I know that it's painful. I know that it hurts. And I know that you feel like you will never trust again. But you will. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You're listening to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We've been talking about backstabbers all night. We're getting ready to close out this wonderful show. But before that, we're going to get into our final thoughts. I'm going to start right here with you, Malik Jackson. Final thought for the night.
My final thoughts for the night is, if the people out there, if you're getting backstabbed, one thing you need to do is get away from around them, and understand that you're going to have these type of people in your life, but you don't have to deal with them if they're family members. If they're family members, you have to deal with them. Just cut them loose. Cut the conversation, cut it real quick. If they friends, you can already replace friends. You know what I'm saying? But the thing it is, get away from around these type of people and recover and get back to that original circle and keep the head up and keep them dreams and wishes and hopes. Keep them alive.
Final thoughts, Arthur Jenkins.
Oh, wow. My final thoughts would be to keep from being betrayed or backstabbed. The best way to prevent this, the best way to keep it from happening is prevent it from happening in the first place. Meaning, your plans, your ideas, keep those to yourself or to a minimum amount of people. Recognize people for who and what they are. Stop making excuses and trying to make them something they're not. They are who they are. Recognize that and accept that and treat them accordingly. And stop putting yourself in positions for people to hurt you and bring you down. And that's the only advice that I really could give anybody. And before I go tonight, I just would like to shout out, all them Lewis's family out there in Third Ward. Love y'all. That Jenkins family out there in Studewood. And I got to give a long distance shout out to the Workhorse Camp over there in New Jersey and New York. I see y'all boys doing that music, man. Keep it up and keep pushing it.
I have a shout out to, my boy, Chris the barber over there. I called him old Scissor Hands at 6401 Bingle, Suite 117, zip 77092. Y'all go holler at him. He do all kind of cuts, put all kind of designs in your head. So y'all go holler at 6401 Bingle, Suite 117.
Final thought for the night for me, watch who you share everything with. Be careful. Pay attention to the red flags. Stay away from gossiping people that do it for a sport. Backstabbers, no good. Continue to just keep a closed mouth when you're around these people. If they talk about other people, move around and you won't be the next victim. It's been a pleasure doing this show tonight. Backstabbers was our topic of discussion tonight here on the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. I have to give a shout out to our sponsor for the night show, the University of Houston here and, of course, Houston, Texas. The University of Houston here in Houston, Texas. You're listening to the Soul 21st Street Radio Show. T.G. Ryans, that's me, Malik Jackson, and Arthur Jenkins signing off for another wonderful show. Tune in again next week. We're going to bring you another good edition of the Soul 21st Street Radio Show. We are out of here.